afternoon, and welcome to the later hours of TheoTRADE. Again, I'm Professor Jeff Bierman. I'm broadcasting you live from Chicago. Today is Tuesday. It is September 3rd. It is 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been holding back and holding back and holding back for 6 months. It's over. It's a game changer. You have to start changing the way you think now and probably for the next year or two. And for those of you who are jumping into Procter & Gamble, I have no idea why you're doing this. It is a mistake. Give me a chance to unpack this. I did not miss this. I do teach Loyola on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. I do, but that doesn't mean I miss what's going on in between. I caught every part of this and I'm loving it. And I give kudos to Don for showing some patience here. Today we're going to finish. It's a 4-part series. 4 on AI. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of AI, the ethics, the risks, and then tomorrow we're going to open it up to all the companies and all of the estimates and whatnot. It's a blitzkrieg. It's an armada of financial graphics I'm going to bring at you tomorrow. But today we're moving forward. So it's 4-part series. If you missed the first 2 parts, you must watch it. It's very difficult for me to give a recap because it's real deep dive. Nobody has ever done this. I might be the first of my kind to do this, especially on a financial program. I do it once in a lifetime. So bear with me because we're going to pyramid off this. We're going to move forward with more AI today. And then we're going to put the cherry ice cream on the top, or the cherry on the top of the ice cream tomorrow, and finish it off with a lot of examples. All right, let me talk about the market today. Okay. Now, fundamentals are dead. They don't even work now. They don't, but they will. Fundamentals only work after stocks have crashed or melted down. Then they work. They're starting to work. Did you buy today? Shame on you. Like Seinfeld. Why are you buying here? Okay. I'm telling you right now, if you scrub this through the dailies, the weeklies, and the monthlies, it's a game changer. So for 6 months to a year, the monthlies have trumped the weeklies and the weeklies have trumped the dailies. So every short has been bought with a dip. Today, it's a different story. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. You're also seeing a meltdown in crypto. So if you think things are bad today in E-mini, stop. Crypto's in the same path to meltdown for a while. Okay, watch what I'm showing you. This is the most important thing I teach, period, in the business. It's the slope. If you're on the wrong side of the slope, it's the end of your career in this business. I keep telling you this. You can't short on the way up. It doesn't work. But you can't buy on the way down. And we're on the way down, and it's over. Now, I want to show you to see this. This is the first time the dailies have curled over. I call it the lip curl. Like on a wave, remember the rip curl? It's over. Look, it's curling over. That's the fear factor. You haven't seen anything yet, TheoTRADE members. This is nothing. Ask Kaufman. This is nothing. 100 points is nothing. Nothing. We're going to have days where we're down 3, 4, 500, 8, 7, 8% days. Now we're talking. You're in a $5,600 product. You've been walking it up for 4 straight years. We've been going up with a hiccup. 4 years. It's time. Okay. The dailies have broken. We're right on that 50 RSI, so we might get a bounce tomorrow morning. But the problem is, it's the setup. I trade off of setups, and that's what algos do. They trade off the momentum setups. This is a candle that undercut 7 candles. That's your problem. You're trying to overcompensate for this. It's not going to work. If you're not hedged on this, it's going to be trouble. Okay, that candle basically wiped away 10 candles. It's gone. It's completely gone. That's what we call in the business a game changer. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles have been wiped away in one day. One day. But to me, this isn't the story. Not even close. TheoTRADE members, the dailies don't matter. It's the weeklies and the monthlies that have driven this bull market for 15 years. 15 years. Watch the monthlies. Watch the weeklies. It's the future. See how the weeklies have a bearish divergence? See the bearish divergence? Look really careful, people, because the dailies don't matter in front of the weeklies. The weeklies will completely obliterate the dailies, completely run into roughshod. You have a bearish divergence on the weekly. You also have a bearish divergence on the MACD. You have three bear. This is not good. This is not good. It's one thing to have one bearish divergence. When they all synchronize, it's over. But wait, it gets worse. Forget the weeklies. Go to the monthly. I keep telling you, the monthlies run the market. They'll run the market for years, months, decades. The monthlies. Lily's been going up for 10 straight years without a downtick because it's on a monthly parabolic move. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Here's Lily. Look. See how it's parabolic? See that? That's how the algos work. The algos, they synchronize in 3 time frames: daily, weekly, and monthly. So even if the daily breaks, doesn't matter. They can run it back up and just erase. But when all 3 synchronize, it's over. That's the end. This is Lily. Okay, this is so stupid I can't even tell you. But there's hundreds and hundreds of stocks that look like this. You got Microsoft, you got Meta, you got Nvidia. Just run it through your head. Just run this through your head. When they change the slope on all of them, this is a 10-year, it's like 10 years will be gone in a minute. This is how it works. They walk it up and they make you feel invincible. And all it takes is one change of narrative, one change of data point, one change of an event. It changes something happened this weekend. Something. I can't pinpoint my finger on it. But you walk in on a day like this, this is not your like run-of-the-mill day. Now, we're not going to go down in a straight line. That's not going to happen. But something's up. And here's what's up. See the weeklies on the E-mini? That's the first time it's flattened out and curled. In how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's been 1 year since the market has shown any signs of any weakness, period, on the monthly. You now have this heading down. So here's what I'm telling you. We're not going down in a straight line. That is not going to happen. But that's the beginning of what an end looks like. That looks like that. This is reproducing itself over here. This looks like this. Now look, go here, go here. Look at the swing down. Now you're at a higher level with a higher slope, which makes it that more lethal. That's the problem. But there's something afoot that's going on. For me, the E-mini to me is the worst product ever created by mankind. It completely obfuscates, it skews, it's the worst product ever. Look at the individual sectors. Something's wrong. Rio down 5%. It's a blowout. It's a break below a support. Copper, BHP, copper down massively, breaking a 52-week low. Something's wrong. Read the tea leaves, people. CCJ, Cameco, okay, breaking below it near a 52-week low. Commodities are unwinding. I don't own any. I have no exposure to at all to any energy or commodities. I saw this coming from a mile away. I kept saying it on the quant guy. Don't buy these commodities. Something's not right. Look at the breakdown. Systematically, they're all breaking down at the same time. Something's up, and they're all doing it near a 52-week low. So you're looking here at the CL. And what I keep telling everybody is stop with the dailies. It's going to wreck your account. Screw the dailies. Look at the monthlies. Way more important. The monthlies are breaking down to another cycle low. Translation, if we're not heading into a recession, which I don't think we are, but I'm going to give some props to Don. I'm going to give props to Brandon. I'm going to give props to Blake because those are the guys that called this on Thursday. They said something's not right. This is proof that there's a massive synchronized slowdown across the world. It's a demand problem, not a supply problem, because we got plenty of supply. This is telling you, okay? And then when you throw into that technology, the XLK, okay, there's something of it. This is the beginning of the end of technology. Look how overbought we are. For this to correct, it needs to go all the way down to the 20. We're talking about this product could fall 20% and not even be close to oversold. We could go down to 100, a 50% haircut and not be overbought, oversold. That's how frightening this is. This is a monthly that walked itself up from 100 to 238 in a year. You talk about a bubble, look at it, okay? I don't know how far this is going to fall. All I know is one thing, the lip curl. It's a sign. Something's not right. It's not that it's going to go down in a day. It won't. It's not going to roll over tomorrow. No. Wednesday. No. By October. No. It's a slow, progressive bleeding process until the slope goes vertically down, and then the panic begins. Ask Don. Crashes never occur from highs. Never. They occur from the bottom because everybody realizes they kept buying every dip and they got hornswoggled. This is a bad sign. Tech is breaking down. Commodities are breaking down. Then you have, and this is where I'm short, now you got financials breaking down. This is serious. And they're all rolling over at the same time on the same day. And what puts the nail in the coffin in all of this, and this is why we're not going to hit a bottom for a while. Your genius money managers, your geniuses have now gone into another bubble. What have they done? They've rolled into all the defensive. When you see panic buying in consumer staples, that is to me a bad sign. That means something's, look how they're panic buying Procter, panic, 52-week high, 29 times earnings. Look, 29 times, they're getting out of one bubble to buy another one. Way to go, money managers, way to go. This is more overpriced than NVIDIA. What would you rather own? A stock growing at 3% with a 29 PE or a stock growing at 30% with a 20 PE? Answer, the latter. Now I'm getting out of, I'm frightened. Don, hold me on NVIDIA. 51 times earnings. That's expensive. But then again, you can go down the line. Okay, that's a bad example. Qualcomm, 21 times earnings. Still growing at about 25%. They're panic selling it. Panic selling that to panic buy this. That's just genius. When is this stock ever going to grow at 30%, Brandon Chapman? How about never? So now they're getting out of one bubble to get into another bubble because now they're panic buying. Keurig Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, all the food stocks are going vertical. Yeah, that's going to fix the problem. It's another bubble. This is a pricing mechanism, people. So when they decide to go back into other sectors that have good value, where are they going to get the money from? Here. This is a psychological game right now. It's a rotation game. Figure it out. Read between the lines, people. They're panic selling everything to get into consumer staples because they think we're going into some type of recession or steep kind of slowdown. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. But in the end, the market is a pricing mechanism. And when the price is wrong, they will kill it. That's why they're killing tech, because they're basically compressing the growth to nothing. This is not expanding growth. This is more compressed growth than even tech or even financials. This is going to get, you are going to see more consumer staples pop the bubble than you'll ever see tech. This is a bubble building unto itself, which is going to pad the bubble we're already in, which will drive the market even lower. I love this stuff. This makes me want to triple down on my shorts on this consumer staple stuff. It's ridiculously priced. It's trading at an RSI. Look at that. Look at the RSI of about 90, 83. Oh, what? It's not priced in yet? Priced what? There is virtually no growth in the stock on a sales side. But again, all let Wall Street sort this out. What I'm telling you is this, okay? You can't have a market be supported by consumer staples. It is not going to work. You have tech falling off a cliff. You have financials rolling over. That's 70% of the S&P. Read between the lines. Lighten up on these stocks and get defensive. All my longs are simple. I'm in low PE stocks, simply low. This is one of my own. Low PE, low PE. That's the only way you're going to survive this, because these stocks, they trade at ridiculous valuations, so their downside is capped. There's a bottom on them. These stocks that have high multiples, they're going to compress them. They'll get Coke and Pepsi and Procter & Gamble. We're in a rotation, people. A market top is near. I'm not ready to throw the towel and say it's done. But man, the sign, we are there. Kaufman's right. We're right on the fringe. Watch the weeklies. watch the monthlies. If they roll over, God help us, because we are way overextended, and buying the bonds is not going to help fix your situation, because inflation, it's not coming down. It's just flat. Okay, let's move upward and onward, and let's do part 3 of AI. And on the forefront of AI, there's so many. NVIDIA, I did NVIDIA last time. NVIDIA, big AI player. IBM, big in AI. Okay, there's a lot of big AI players. Okay, I don't have time to go through and do a recap. I've got way too much stuff to throw at you. Day 1, I gave you the timeline history of AI, where it started and where we are. Second day, which was Friday, I opened up the playbook to explain what is AI, where are the applications, where are the opportunities, where it's going. Today, we're going to talk about ethics and benefits. And then tomorrow, we're going to go strictly and go micro. We're going to look at all the companies and all the growth rates. It's going to be great stuff, so you can figure out. And of course, I will open up and give you a list of 15 AI stocks to look at. I will not disappoint, I promise you. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you back to where I left off. I left off on Friday with generative AI. That's where I left you. We talked about AI, machine learning, DL, deep learning, and generative AI. This is like the farthest iterative model. So if you were to say, like, what's the most complex? It's generative AI. That's the final frontier of AI. There's like crude AI, and they tweak it, and they tweak it, and they try to mimic and replace humans. That's where generative AI fits the bill. Now, another graphic. I got tons of graphics, plenty of graphics. Generative AI applications, and just a few things for you to grasp about AI. How does generative AI work? I'm going to break it down for 5 minutes. How does it work? Okay. You have 3 phases of AI that you need to learn. 3. Training, tuning, as in like tuning a fork, and generation, evaluation, and even more tuning. So it's basically an optimization process. Generative AI begins with a foundation model, okay? A deep learning model that serves as the basis for multiple different types of generative AI applications. And you can see music, content, virtual, fashion, fraud, healthcare, demand, customer, financial forecasting. There's Wall Street there for right there. You can see it all. In fact, we're just going to get rid of all of Wall Street and have AI do all of it, which is what I hope is the future. The most common foundation models today are called LLMs, large language models, and they're created for text generation applications. But there's also foundation models for imaging, video, sound, music. It runs the gamut. And multimodal foundation models that support several kinds of content. So to create a foundation model, practitioners, programmers, okay, they train a deep learning algorithm on huge volumes of relevant, raw, unstructured, unlabeled data, such as terabytes or petabytes or data, text, or images or video from the internet. What next? The training then effectively, the training then yields a neural network of billions of parameters. We talked about neural networks, encoded representations of entities, patterns, and relationships that are siphoned out from the data. That can generate content autonomously in response to prompts, and this is what's called the foundation model. This training process is compute intensive, so it's number crunching intensive, it's time consuming, and it's very expensive. Hell, did I mention the word expensive? But AI is going to change the world, according to CNBC. Did they ever talk about how expensive it is to adopt AI? It's ridiculously expensive. It requires thousands of clustered graphic processing units, GPUs, and weeks of processing, all of which typically cost millions of dollars per day in some cases. Open source foundation model projects, such as Meta's, like, Meta as in Facebook, they have what's called Llama 2, LLAMA, like a llama animal, Llama 2. What does it do? It enables Gen AI developers to avoid the step and the costs and cut down. Then you have what's called tuning. Tuning is the model that must be tuned to a specific content generation task. So it's a form of tweaking and perfecting. And this can be done in various ways. You can do what's called fine tuning, which involves feeding the model application specific labeled data, questions, or prompts the applications is likely to receive. and corresponding correct answers in the wanted format. The other alternative is what's called reinforcement learning. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of what that is, with human feedback, RLHF, reinforcement learning with human feedback, in which human users can evaluate the accuracy or relevance of model outputs so the model can improve itself. This can be as simple as having people type or talk back corrections to a chatbot or virtual assistant. So there are two ways to fine-tune. You can do it electronically or machine, or you can do it through human interaction. But in each case, what is it? It's a repetitive learning process to perfect it, to make it mimic a human. The last part of it is called generation, evaluation, and more tuning. What's that? It's a cycle. It's a feedback cycle. Developers and users regularly assess the outputs of their generative AI apps, right? And further tune the model, even as often as once a week, for greater accuracy or relevance. In contrast, the foundation model itself is updated much less frequently, perhaps every year or perhaps every 18 months. So be aware of what this is. There's what's called tuning, fine-tuning, and then generative AI fine-tuning. It's a repetitive feedback loop process. That's part and parcel. Now, the question you have to ask is, at this point, what are the benefits of AI? Because we're going to talk about the benefits of AI, then we're going to talk about the risks. And this is a easily 30, 40-minute discussion because everybody's like, screw it. Just buy me an AI stock. And what if that AI stock is fraught with fraud, accounting irregularities, applications that are useless? There are flaws in every model. And if you aren't on it, you may be buying an AI stock that goes from 100 to 0, people. It could happen. Okay, there was 2008 and Tech 2000, Nasdaq 2000.com, buy me anything. Oh, look, it's $500 a share. Oh, wait, it went to 0. Okay, you got to know the benefits of AI. So what are the general benefits? The benefits of artificial intelligence. I'm going to give you 2 graphics. I'm going to walk you through some of the benefits of why artificial intelligence is so hot. Why is it so hot? Why is it 24/7 talked about all the time? Number 1, automation of repetitive tasks. AI can automate routine, repetitive, and often tedious tasks, including digital tasks such as data collection, entering and reprocessing, and physical tasks such as warehouse stock picking and manufacturing processes. That's the direction Amazon and Walmart are going. They're going to get rid of a lot of the people and replace them with robots. This automation frees to work on higher value and more creative work. Then there's what's called enhanced decision-making. Okay, maybe I've got one better graphic for you. Yeah, I'm going to bring this over. Enhanced decision-making. So I'll bring one and I'll bring in the other. Okay, here's the other benefit. I'll go back to back on these because there's a lot to unpack here. Whether used for decision support or for fully automated decision-making, AI enables faster, more accurate predictions and reliable data-driven decisions. Combined with automation, AI enables businesses to act on opportunities and respond to crises as they emerge in real time and without human intervention. Okay, that's another benefit of AI. How about this one? This is the one where, like I said, at some point, there is going to be virtually nobody left on Wall Street. Even money managers and asset managers will become extinct. Why? Fewer human errors. Yes, people. AI can reduce human errors in various ways, from guiding people through the proper steps of process to flagging potential errors before they occur and fully automating processes without human intervention. Me like where this is going. This is especially important in industries such as healthcare, where, for example, AI-guided surgical robots enable consistent precision in surgery. Machine learning algorithms can continually improve their accuracy and further reduce errors as they're exposed to more data and learn from experience. That's another big plus benefit. What's another benefit of AI? Round-the-clock availability and consistency. AI is always on. as in 24/7, people. Availability over here. It's available around the clock and delivers consistent performance every time. Tools such as AI chatbots or virtual assistants can lighten staffing demands for customer service or support. And other applications such as materials processing, like Sherwin-Williams or Pittsburgh Paints, or production lines like Tesla, GM, Ford, AI can help maintain consistent work quality and output levels when used to complete repetitive or tedious tasks. Doesn't talk back to you, doesn't make excuses, doesn't get drunk, runs on batteries, people. This is the future. What else is like a game changer when it comes to AI? Reduced physical task. By automating dangerous work, such as animal control, handling explosives, yeah, I do that all the time, performing tasks in deep ocean water, as in drilling, high altitudes, or in outer space, NASA, AI can eliminate the need to put human workers at risk or injury or worse, okay? And that's why it's so popular now. Well, they have yet to be perfected. Self-driving cars and other vehicles offer the potential to reduce the risk of injury to passengers, okay? Those are like the major benefits. But let me give you more real-world benefits that they can handle. For instance, customer experience and support. Companies can implement AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants to handle customer inquiries, support tickets, and more. They can do it faster, more efficiently, better clarity. These tools use NLP, natural language processing, and generative AI capabilities to understand and respond to customer questions about order status, product details, and return policy. Chatbots and virtual assistants enable always-on support, provide faster answers to frequently asked questions, FAQs, free human agents to focus on higher-level tasks, and give customers faster, more consistent service. What else do they also do? Okay, they're also good for fraud protection. Machine learning and deep learning algorithms can analyze transaction patterns and flag anomalies, such as unusual spending or login locations. This is the stuff that Visa and MasterCard are huge on AI, as well as JP Morgan. All the banks are doing it too for fraud protection. They can indicate fraudulent transactions from a mile away. This enables organizations to respond more quickly to potential fraud and limit its impact, giving themselves and customers greater peace of mind. What else can AI do? Okay, personalized marketing. Personalized marketing, right? So let me bring it over here. Oh, where is it? Come back to me. Did I miss it over here? I think I didn't get rid of it. I'm pretty sure I have it here somewhere. I have personalized marketing. Come on, give it to me. I think I might have knocked it down. I'll leave this one. Oh, there it is. Pardon me. Personalized marketing is another big one. I love that one. So what's personalized marketing? Retailers, banks, and other customer-facing companies can use AI to create personalized customer experiences and marketing campaigns that delight customers, improve sales, and prevent churn. Based on data from customer purchase history and behaviors, deep learning algorithms can recommend products like Pinterest does this, and service customers are likely to want and even generate personalized copy and special offers for customers in real time. Okay, another big part that's a big benefit of AI that's really driving it. Here's another one: human resources and recruitment. It's it never ends. AI-driven recruitment platforms can streamline hiring by screening resumes, matching candidates with job descriptions, and even conducting preliminary interviews using video analysis. So again, the Korn Ferries, okay, the Stewart Mastersons, they hire people, okay, they're publicly traded. They're now into AI. It's get rid of the staff, just bring in AI. It's a better, more efficient way of screening for applicants and hiring candidates. These and other tools can dramatically reduce the amount of administrative paperwork associated with fielding a large volume of candidates. It can also reduce response times and time to hire, improving the experience for candidates, whether they get the job or not. Okay, application development and modernization. Generative AI code generation tools and automation tools they can streamline repetitive coding tasks associated with application development and accelerate the migration and modernization of legacy applications to scale. These tools can speed up tasks, help ensure code consistency, and they can reduce errors. Last but not least of things that are, this is artificial. I got this one off. I'm going to get this one over here. Ethics, here we go. I'll get you there, okay? Take this one down. I want to bring one more up. Last piece of the puzzle here about what AI can do. Here's some more things that you can see with AI-enabled worker. Again, things that are benefits, safety, compliance, decisions, strategic work, tactical work. Everything is so streamlined. It's so efficient. It's so funneled. It's so cost conscious. It's so time efficient. It's going to it's going to change the world. Maybe for the better in some cases, maybe some for the worst in some cases. Wait till you hear my double-sided argument on this. Like, I love AI in many ways. I despise AI. Benefits are things like end-to-end efficiency, improved accuracy of decision-making, intelligent offerings. For instance, because machines think differently from humans, they can uncover gaps and opportunities in the market more quickly, helping you introduce new products, new services, new channels, and new business models with a level of speed and quality that wasn't necessarily possible before. Couple more. Empowered employees. AI can tackle mundane activities while employees spend time on more fulfilling, high-value tasks. By fundamentally changing the way work is done and reinforcing the role of people to drive growth, AI is predicted to boost labor productivity. Using AI can also unlock the incredible potential of talent with disabilities while helping all workers thrive. So whether you're a person who has a disability or not, AI can help bridge the gap, and that's important. Last but not least, superior customer service. Continuous machine learning provides a steady flow of 360-degree customer insights for hyper-personalization, from 24/7 to chatbots, to faster help and desk routing, as in trading. Businesses can use AI to curate information in real time and provide high-touch experiences that drive growth, drive retention, and they drive overall satisfaction. So AI has a ridiculous amount of benefits built into it. But, okay, let's be the devil's advocate and let's get on the other side of this. Because while it just sounds like it's all roses, and there are so many good things that emerge from AI, like I'm not bashing it. There's just a lot that comes from it, a lot to be proud of, a lot to like, a lot to get from it. There are ethical concerns, and there's what's called types of concerns, which are non-ethical. And then there are ethical moral concerns. And I'll lay it on you, just some of them from the get-go. And we'll kind of have lay this out from like an argument and see how like we can bring this into the fold. So let me see if I can bring this down. I can't seem to shrink this one. There it is. So you can see what's here. Types of concerns, things like inclusive evidence, inscrutable evidence, misguided evidence, unfair outcomes, okay? These are things that sometimes AI can't curate. They can't sift through it necessarily and, like I said, decipher that the evidence itself is inconclusive, or that the evidence can be challenged, or the evidence itself is completely misapplied or misappropriated, and that the outcomes of the evidence generate guilty verdicts when they're innocent or innocent verdicts when they're guilty. Again, these are just types of concerns of AI. AI has, it's not black and white. It's gray. It's an overlapping Venn diagram. AI adds so much, but then there's this like missing, like a black hole in AI that just cannot be filled. So let me give you some of the examples of AI problems. Privacy and copyright. Privacy and copyright. Machine learning algorithms require large amounts of data, and the techniques used to acquire this data have raised concerns about privacy, surveillance, and copyright. It's a fact. Most of the copy that you read, you people and me, we read Wall Street Journal, Market Watch, social media sites, Facebook, most of it is not written by people. It's written by AI. It's written by a chatbot. It's written by a machine learning program. No fact check. It learned to copycat a human and spit out answers like a human. And sometimes the answers are just patently wrong. But the machines can deliver. That's what they can do. But checking the accuracy and the advocacy, that's not something machines sometimes are built to do. So be aware that there is copyright infringement and surveillance that AI, okay, is guilty of misappropriating. What do we call it when you're basically stealing words, malapropism of words, or the word skips me. Stealing words. I have to look it up. There's a word for it. It escapes my mind. Some of you out there will put it out there, but it's one word is when you basically steal other people's words and you copycat it and make your own. Anyways, it's out there and they're doing it. Here's another problem with AI, okay? Dominance by tech giants. The commercial AI scene is dominated by big tech companies. Let's lay who they are. Alphabet, Google, Amazon, huge, Apple, huge, Meta Platforms, Microsoft. Those 5 big players alone control most of the AI space when it comes to the AI generative programming. Some of these players already own vast majority of existing cloud infrastructure and computing power from data centers, allowing them to entrench further in the marketplace. Okay, what does that do? Monopoly, antitrust behavior. So the harm is that it creates anti-competitive behavior in the marketplace around AI itself. So again, AI sounds great, but again, the bigger the player, the more likely that they're going to be investigated by the FTC, dominance, antitrust, anti-competitive behavior. That's a major problem when it comes to, okay? Here's another ethical concern around AI, okay? Misinformation. Like what? Well, YouTube, Facebook, and others use what's called recommender systems to guide users to more content. These AI programs, they were given the goal of maximizing user engagement. That is, the only goal was to keep people on that website. Facebook's only mission in life is to keep people on the site to never log off. They want that dopamine in your brain, like I'm saying, like a cocaine addict, like you're addicted to Facebook, you're addicted to YouTube. That's their entire MO. They never tell you that, but it's a fact. So be aware that there's a lot of misinformation as they keep you hanging, and you're an active monthly user and you're on it 10 hours a day. I have to curb my kid. My kid is literally on YouTube 2 to 3 hours a day. I caught her. I watched her. And now I've got her down to less than an hour a day. Why? Because information just flies through. Misinformation, it builds. So AI program, they're not responsible for curating accurate information. How are they going to be fact checked for it? It's taught. They're going to have to build a program for fact checking. All they can do is deliver content, but the veracity of that content, it's very hard to verify. Okay, just throwing that out there. Okay, here's another one for you. It's what's called algorithm bias. See right here? Algorithm bias. What's that? Machine learning applications will be biased if they learn from biased data. Garbage in, garbage out. The developers may not be aware that the bias even exists. Bias can be introduced by the way training data is selected and by the way a model is deployed. And if a biased algorithm is used to make decisions that can seriously harm people, as it can in medicine, finance, as in the stock market lies all the time, recruitment, housing, or policing, then algorithms may cause discrimination. The field of fairness studies how to prevent harms from algorithmic biases. So you've got algorithmic biases is now a major, major problem, because if you start out with garbage data, you end up with garbage outcome data, and that's a big part of it. Here's another one for you. Another big issue that comes down to AI ethics, okay? why it's not so great and why the lawyers are going to make billions off of this. Go tell your kids, go to law school, go to Duke or Harvard, become an AI lawyer. That's where the money is. Why? Lack of transparency. Many AI systems are so complex that their designers cannot even explain how they even reach their decisions. That's brilliant, particularly with deep neural networks in which there are large amounts of non-linear relationships between inputs and outputs, but some popular explainability techniques exist. It's impossible, let's be fair here, it's impossible to be certain that a program is operating correctly if nobody knows exactly how it works, okay? So again, this is one of the issues that is going to handicap AI now and forever. Lack of transparency, biasness in the model, copyright infringement, veracity or truth of data, misguided information. This is the part of AI I absolutely abhor. I am not anti-AI. What I am is I just don't think that all of the world's problems are going to be solved by an AI program. It won't be. The world's problems will be solved by people, not by a machine. Machine will not solve the problems. It'll help defray costs. It'll help defray time. It'll help arrive at solutions faster, but it doesn't have all the answers. It won't. Here's another one. Bad actors and weaponized AI. And people are like, what the hell does that even mean? Look, artificial intelligence provides a number of tools that are used to bad actors, such as what? Authoritarian governments. Terrorists are now heavily using AI. Criminals are using AI. Rogue states are now using AI to maintain control of the people. Did you think about that? A lethal autonomous weapon is a machine that locates, selects, and engages human targets without human supervision. That is a big deal. And I had some recent articles sent to me by friends telling me that that's the direction a lot of things go. They actually were found out down in Florida that some illegal immigrants had come across and used AI to steal money from people and create fictitious businesses until they were finally caught. And now they're like trying to run them down, but somehow they've gotten out of the country. Listen, widely available AI tools can be used by bad actors to develop inexpensive autonomous weapons. And if produced at scale, oh no, they are potentially weapons of mass destruction. Did any of you ever consider that when you thought of AI? I bet some of you did, but not all of you did. So be aware they can become weapons of mass destruction. The AI, the GPU of the AI. How about technological unemployment? And people like technological unemployment? Exactly. Let me bring to you what I mean by technological unemployment, because what you're looking at here, okay, when it comes to things, and I want to put this out, I call it vulnerable populations, technological unemployment. This one threw me for a loop when I saw this one, right? So technological unemployment simply means economists have frequently highlighted the risks of redundancies from AI, and they speculated about unemployment if there's no adequate social policy for full employment. So in the past history, technology has tended to increase rather than reduce total employment. But economists are now acknowledging that we're in uncharted territory with AI, where economists are now worried that long-term unemployment is going to explode because AI can reproduce and replicate every single task. Cheaper, no healthcare, 24/7, no vacations, no excuses, okay? No mutiny, no fraud, no stealing, no laziness, no sickness. See where I'm going with this? Economists are worrying that technology, the AI technology, will actually create a spark, a burst, an atom, like Adam Smith, Wealth of Nations, explosion in unemployment to the point where these jobs will be what? Gone forever. You won't be able to move sideways or vertically. You've been replaced completely. You're the obsolete man, like Burgess Meredith on the Twilight Zone. That's another ethical issue and a worry about AI. Then there's what's called existential risk. And people like, what's existential risk? Listen, it's been argued that AI will become so powerful, and this is what I saw from day one, 4 years ago, when people started talking about this, right? That humanity may lose control of it. My beef is that AI will next become Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. We built the machines then are superior to man, then the machines turn on mankind and annihilate mankind, genocide, so that all that's left over are machines, as in Revolution's Matrix, as in Neo, as in, Keanu Reeves. That's what I see happening. I see machines just taking over everything, taking my job. I don't care. I'm old enough where I can retire. So I'm on the way out of this earth, so I'm okay. It's my daughter who's 11 years old that I'm worried about, like replacing her. It's the existential argument, like Stephen Hawking stated, Stephen Hawking said that AI could, this is words from Stephen Hawking before he died, could spell the end of the human race. Stephen Hawking. This scenario has been common in science fiction when a computer or robot suddenly develops a human-like self-awareness or sentience or consciousness and becomes a malevolent character. These sci-fi scenarios are misleading in several ways. So again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it could happen. And if it did happen, it wouldn't surprise me. But again, the idea of the existential risk of mankind being like eliminated, being obsolete, part of it. Here's another argument ethical argument against AI. It's called machines and alignment. People are like, what's that? Friendly AI are machines that have been designed from the beginning to minimize risks and to make choices that benefit humans. Eliezer Yudkowsky, who coined the term friendly AI, argues that developing friendly AI should be a higher research priority. It may require a large investment, and it must be completed before AI becomes an existential risk. Machines with intelligence have the potential to use their intelligence to make ethical decisions. So why not program the machines with ethical issues and ethical outcomes? That's the whole thing. So again, there's this big symposium and argument about, making the machines themselves more ethical. Last but not least, open source. So what's the deal with open source and, Altman and it's on every news headline, open source this and open source that. What's the deal? Here's the deal, people. Active organizations in the AI open source community include, there's one called Hugging Face, not a joke. Google has open AI source, Eleuther AI, and Meta. So Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's got open source. Google's got open source. Various AI models such as Meta's Llama 2, Mistral, or Stable Diffusion have made what's called open weight. What does that mean? It means that their architecture and trained parameters, the weights in the model, are publicly available. Open weight models can be finely tuned, which allows companies to specialize them with their own data and for their own use case. Now, this is the argument that's a benefit plus, as in personalization, that if you tap into open AI source, you can do it. It's out there for you. It's like an open code that you can use it at your discretion. What's the problem? What if you don't understand how to fully integrate and code that open AI source? What you think is a boon can turn into a nightmare. It could turn against you, that you don't know what you're doing. Open weight models are useful for research, but they have to be what? Finely tuned. And if they're not, they could easily be misused. And you could build in certain flaws into the model that completely eradicates and destroys everything you built up. So while OpenAI is great because it allows all of us to tap into the code source and build and customize, it's like ThinkScript. That's the good news. It's available to everybody. You can customize it for yourself, put in your own parameters. What's the flip side? The flip side is if you don't have somebody fact check it, if you don't have to pay somebody to beta test it, it could turn around and you could be building something that has an internal flaw. It has its own time bomb mechanism that could eradicate your system. That's another big part of AI. This is great. Yeah, you better be a pro at using it or hire somebody, because if not, it could turn around and come to bite you. That's called open source risk around AI. Open source risk. wanted to kind of lay that out there. Let me lay out a few more risks out there and ethical issues that deal with OpenAI. Just a few more. And then tomorrow, we'll like finish this off by looking at individual companies. I promise we will spend time looking at individual companies and look at facts and figures. Okay, so here's a thing about some of the risks that lay on AI. Data, as in corrupt data. AI systems rely on data sets. You know that. Billions, trillions, petabytes that might be vulnerable to data poisoning, malware. It gets in your system. It gets in your PC. It gets in your server. You're a billion-dollar company. Bloop, and it goes dark. Yes, AI is vulnerable to malware and cyberware. Big time. There's data tampering, data poisoning, data bias, cyber attacks, data breaches. Come on, people. Organizations can mitigate these risks by protecting data integrity and implementing security and availability throughout the entire AI lifecycle, from development to training and deployment and post-deployment. Here's another risk. The model. Oh, this is the one that just kills me. I'm just looking at my P&L just explode. I can't wait until Coke and Pepsi implode. That'll be the crowning glory of my day. Okay. Not to mention, like, all the other stuff is about ready to blow here. I told you it was a game changer. This is not like August 5th, people. It's not. August 5th, the monthly was flat. The MACD monthly ain't flat, TheoTRADE members. It's curved. The slope will make or break your wealth. I keep telling you this. It doesn't look like this. It looks like that. When it curves, the algos attack. I told you. I warned you. Model risks. Threat actors can target AI models for theft, reverse engineering, or unauthorized manipulation. Attackers might compromise a model's integrity by tampering with its architecture, the weights, or the parameters, the core components that determine a model's behavior, accuracy, and performance. So you might have model risks, not from the inside, but the threat comes from the outside by malware or people who break into through the firewalls. Operational risks. Here's another one for you, and they lay up and down here. Like all technologies, models are susceptible to operational risks, such as model drift, bias, and breakdowns in the governance structure. Governance, as in ethics structure, left unaddressed. These risks can lead to system failures and cybersecurity vulnerabilities that threaten actors, the threat actors themselves can use. Here's another one. If organizations don't prioritize safety, right over here, prioritize that, okay, and ethics when developing and deploying AI systems, they run the risk of committing privacy violations and producing biased outcomes. For example, biased training used for hiring decisions might reinforce gender or racial stereotypes and create AI models that favor certain demographic groups over others. There's a class action billion-dollar lawsuit in the making. Universities, when they screen for applicants and matriculate students' enrollment, oh my God, if they're using AI to curate and pick students, there's a billion-trillion-dollar dilemma. I said, go get a degree in law around AI and legal risks. There's always a job for you out there. There's a mound of paper. You're a paper warrior when it comes to this. Because if there is any what they call gender or racial stereotypes built into it, there's a university looking at what? Well, like deep pockets, shut down, force majeure, or they're just going to pay through the nose. Because the universities themselves are hotbeds of what? Bringing in applicants, bringing in grad students. It's like, it's a hiring of people without money, but matriculating for education. This AI thing runs deep. Everybody makes AI seem so romantic. It's the future. It's so Wall Streety. It's so tech Morgan Stanley, go Guggenheim. They never, ever talk about the risks. And when I leave every day, I leave any program, TheoTRADE, what's the last thing I say to members? Think risk first. Because if you didn't, you'd be down 112 points. And if you own 10 contracts, you've effectively lost about what? 50,000, 60,000 today? I'm never impressed with people who make money. Never. I'm impressed with people who manage risk, because money comes and goes, people, easily, fast. I just care about risk. I trade for risk. Am I making a lot today? Not a lot. Am I losing? No, I'm making good money with virtually no risk. My longs are barely down 12 and 10 cents. That's how I do it. I'm not writing this to 3,000. Be aware of what's going to happen, what's going on here. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what could happen. Needless to say, AI has got so many things, values associated and built around it, like just too much, like, to like capture in one shot. But I've got about 5 minutes left, so I'll lay down the things that are really driving most of AI growth right now. Number one is explainability and interpretability. What does that mean? As AI becomes more advanced, humans are challenged to comprehend and retrace how algorithms came to a result. So explainable AI is a set of processes and methods that enable human users, to interpret, comprehend, and trust the results and output created by the algos. Explainability and what's called interpretability, two big factors. Next, fairness and inclusion. Although machine learning by its very nature is a form of statistical discrimination, the discrimination becomes objectionable when it places privileged groups at systematic advantage and certain unprivileged groups at systematic disadvantage, potentially causing varied harm. So to encourage fairness, practitioners can try to minimize algorithmic bias across data collection and model design and to build more diverse and inclusive teams. The next is robustness and security. And people are like, what does that mean? Robustness and security means how they handle exceptional conditions, such as abnormalities, input, or malicious attacks, without causing unintentional harm. So robustness and security, that's a big part of AI. For me, I have a deep, deep interest in CrowdStrike. I don't own it. I have no vested interest. I'm not shorted, but I watch it because I know the next iterative generation of CrowdStrike is going to be basically protecting the entire net of robustness and security around AI. Look at CrowdStrike. You don't like it now because it's getting crushed. Let it find a bottom. Let it turn itself around. I wouldn't buy it now, but eventually it'll come to the forefront when it comes to security of AI. Accountability and transparency. We've been through that one as well. Privacy and compliance, okay? Many regulatory frameworks, including GDPR, mandate that organizations abide by certain privacy principles. God knows that Meta's violated every one. When processing personal information, it's crucial to be able to protect AI models that might contain personal information, control what data goes into the model in the first place, and to build adaptable systems that can adjust to changes in regulation and attitudes around AI ethics. So when it comes down to it, okay, when it really comes down to it, okay, the idea here is I designed this program for 4 days. History of AI and the entire, like we profiled the history, beginning to end, where it started, midway through, harvest winter, not once but twice. To appreciate where you are, you have to know where you come from. Day 2 was showing you all the applications of AI, walking you through all the key buzzwords, telling you about NLPs, neural networks, generative AI, machine learning. I was trying to break down all the concepts so you have some form of intelligibility or understanding how AI fits in to the great infrastructure of economies and lifestyles. Today was all about ethics. It was about risks. It's about rewards. It's about benefits. Okay. It's about ethics. I want you to understand there is nothing like free and clear about AI. It is always going to be under constant scrutiny from now, even if the next 10 years is dominated by AI. I don't care. There's always going to be an ethical issue that is going to restrain companies from just running away and monopolizing and killing cash flow. It's not what you think it is. Temper. You all need to temper your expectations. AI is fabulous, but it has its limitations. Now, tomorrow, when we get to part three, we're going to profile AI companies and AI the future. We'll talk about the next 10 years of compound annual growth, where the opportunities lie. It's the day where you come in to check in to figure out which particular stocks you want to trade and how you want to trade them, or whether you want to invest in them. Maybe you want to invest in them. I'm here to lift your spirits, to open your eye to AI. It's a 4-day program. I probably won't do this for another 10 years, so take advantage while you can. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it over to Corey Rosenblum, who's waiting in the wings. He's going to take it in today. Corey, is it safe to say that this is a Corey Rosenblum trend day, or am I wrong?
I think it's a Professor Bierman steamroller more than me because we're at the AD, what, negative 200. We've just seen drift. We haven't really seen for the selling in the wood form a trend day. It's just slowly easing into a hot bath, like a frog type thing. It's not a Corey Rosenblum trend day, no, not for
Well, I'm
me.
going to leave it to you because, Corey, you're the dominant theme guy. I'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Take care.
All right, thank you, Professor.